Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Just days after being charged with the death of Elijah Vu, his mother and her boyfriend appeared in court this afternoon.
Both making brief appearances for their charges in Manitowoc County Court in connection to the severe abuse and death of the 3-year-old. Brittany Schmidt tells us what happened today in both cases.
State of Wisconsin versus Katrina Baur.
31-year-old Katrina Baur appeared via Zoom from the Manitowoc County Jail, sitting on a $400,000 cash bond. With her attorney present, Baur waived her right to a preliminary hearing, where the state has to prove there is enough evidence she may have committed a felony. After asking Baur several questions, the Manitowoc County judge made a decision.
I have reviewed the criminal complaint and find that it does contain probable cause that she committed a felony in Manitowoc County, Wisconsin, and I will bind her over for further proceedings.
She is facing up to 60 years in prison, charged with 2 felonies, including chronic neglect of a child resulting in death. Meanwhile, Baur's co-defendant in this case, boyfriend Jesse Vang, is still waiting for a public defender to be assigned to his case, so his case did not progress. The 39-year-old faces life in prison, charged with physical abuse of a child, repeated acts causing death, and hiding a corpse. He will remain behind bars on a $500,000 cash bond while the public defender's office looks for representation. I did talk to one woman today who sat in on the court hearings, who says she was part of the search parties early on and throughout the several months searching for Elijah. I asked her how she's feeling, and she says she's heartbroken, but she plans to be at every court hearing along the way because she wants justice for Elijah. Baur will be back in court on October 30th for her arraignment. Vang's preliminary hearing is scheduled for Thursday. In court, the prosecution alluded to the idea that it will be contested. In Manitowoc County, Brittany Schmidt, Action 2 News.